Now, a Bollywood star is urging men to join the fight for feminism and says fathers need to set better role models for their sons. Farhan Akhtar is the first man to be a UN Women's Ambassador and runs a campaign in India to help raise awareness for equal rights. He's been speaking to our reporter Haroon Rashid as part of the BBC's 100 Women season.
Farhan Akhtar is one of Bollywood's most influential actors and filmmakers. I met him during his recent visit to London, where he won an award not only for his movies, but also for his campaigning for gender equality in India.
The people who set down the rules, laid down the rules, have benefited by certain mindsets, patriarchy being in their favor for centuries now. And if they don't start changing, and if they don't inspire other men to change, those conversations don't happen, if those discussions don't happen, I feel it'll take way longer.
What do you think about the relationship between masculinity and parenting, and how does that really play out in South Asian families?
If I think back to my childhood, when I speak to my friends, when they speak to me about their childhood, the father was hardly involved in the upbringing of the child. You know, he was there in the larger decisions that needed to be taken, or once in a while if some disciplining needed to be done. But the day-to-day functioning in a child's life, the parent that would attend school, the parent that looked after your needs at home, it was always the mother that did it. It was as unsurmountable as the mountain of prejudice and inequality may seem. It is actually a giant pile of dust that we for centuries have swept under the carpet. Our united will and the gust of a new mindset is all that it'll take to blow it away. Thank you very, very much.
We've spoken about your Mard campaign before, and I was fascinated about this idea of you saying that it's uncool to have a patriarchal mindset. Can you explain a little bit more about that?
Every single human being has a need to belong to something. And the minute you start getting a bit ostracized for a primitive way of thinking, you know, or because of certain beliefs that you have that are no longer considered the way a person, a civilized person, a rational person, a logical person, a modern person should think, you will start changing.
What sort of messaging should fathers be giving to their sons?
I think if sons can see how the father treats the mother, and if they realize that it's not a relationship of someone who is subservient to the other, if there is a relationship of parity, you know, if decisions that need to be made are discussed, if they eat together at the dining table as opposed to the mother serving everyone and then having to eat later. You know, there's those very traditional things that happen. I feel that it's those little things, you know, that make a very, very big difference in a young boy's life.
And finally, Farhan, you yourself are the father to two young daughters as well. What sort of perspective and attitude do you want them to have with regards to their place in the wider world?
I think what me and Oduna want for our kids really is to empower them in whichever way we can. Let them have the self-confidence, the self-belief that anything that they set their mind to, they have the freedom from our end to try and achieve.
With more men in India fighting for equal rights for women, it looks like Farhan's hard work is slowly paying off. Haroon Rashid, BBC News.